Welcome to O&R Insights. This video presentation delivers a systematic overview of key biblical topics, dedicated to illuminating biblical truths. Drawing from a foundation of rigorous biblical research, we offer insights tailored for deep thinkers who seek understanding and spiritual clarity. We are going to tackle one of the most profound questions ever asked. What is truth? That's a question that has echoed through the centuries. We're going to journey from an ancient Roman courtroom right to the very heart of what it means to live truthfully. We'll explore its different forms, discover its ultimate source, and understand the powerful and sometimes kind of dangerous impact it can have on our lives. Our journey starts nearly 2,000 years ago with a Roman governor standing face to face with a prisoner, and a question that still echoes in our world today. So here it is. Pontius Pilate asks this huge, life-changing question, but he doesn't even wait around for an answer. He asks, and then he just turns and walks out. And doesn't that sound a lot like us sometimes? We ask these huge, life-altering questions, but are we actually ready to hear the answer? We avoid truth because, honestly, it's a lot of work. It demands our complete attention. It can be inconvenient, even perilous, and let's be real, it often proves us wrong, forces us out of our cozy little comfort zones, and maybe worst of all, it shines a light on those little lies we've actually gotten pretty comfortable with. As O&R Insights points out, that act of walking away is just as significant as the question itself. And if we're being honest, we do the same thing all the time, don't we? So why? Why do we walk away? Because really engaging with the answer has consequences. Truth isn't some passive idea. It demands our attention. It can feel dangerous because it might completely upend what we believe. Think about this. Trying to grasp the truth is like trying to catch a slippery bar of soap with wet hands. You can't just casually grab it, right? No, it takes real focus, real effort. So let's really dive into this. To understand the answer Pilate never got to hear, we first have to get our terms straight. You see, not all truth is created equal. This study breaks it down to two main types. First, you've got subjective truth. This is all about your personal experience and your opinion. Your belief that Florida has the perfect weather, well, that's true for you, but someone who can't stand the humidity, they would definitely disagree. Then you have objective truth. This is based on facts that are true no matter how you feel about them. The sun is hot. That's just a fact, whether you're feeling toasty or freezing cold. Gravity exists. That's not up for debate. And this is the key takeaway here. While our feelings and opinions can shift like the wind, objective absolute truth stays constant. It's like a North Star. You can ignore it, you can lose sight of it on a cloudy night, but the star itself never moves. It's that fixed, reliable point you can always use to find your way. So if this absolute, objective truth really exists, how in the world are we supposed to find it? Especially in a world that's just overloaded with conflicting information, opinions, and constant noise. We're just drowning in information. We are constantly bombarded with worldly noise, and it's so loud that God's still small voice, as the Bible calls it, just gets completely lost in the static. And that's exactly why the truth that matters most is often hidden away. You'll find it on dusty shelves and secluded corners, in places people have forgotten about. Why? Because most of us prefer the easy, popular truths, the ones that don't ask us to change. So think of it this way. This study shows us that godly truth is like a special treasure. It's been intentionally hidden, but not to keep it from us. No, it's hidden for those who are determined enough to actually go looking for it. It's a reward for the persistent seeker. This study makes it really clear that absolute truth isn't something you just stumble upon while scrolling through your phone. It's described right here as a hidden treasure. And you don't find treasure by accident, right? It takes an intentional, dedicated, and persistent search. You have to want it badly enough to actually dig for it. We actually have a treasure map. The book of Proverbs lays out the exact steps. You've got to receive God's words, treasure them, listen for wisdom, apply your heart, cry out for discernment, and then search for it like it's buried treasure. And look at that last part. Then you will find the knowledge of God. It's a promise, but it's a conditional one. You have to do the work. Okay, now we're getting to the absolute core of this study. This is where everything starts to click into place. The Bible reveals that ultimate objective truth isn't just a bunch of facts or a list of rules. It's something so much more profound. And honestly, it's a pretty radical idea. We've been talking about truth like it's a thing, a concept you can hold. But what if the ultimate absolute truth isn't a what at all? What if it's a who?
That's right. This study makes a powerful claim. Absolute truth isn't just a word or an idea. It is a person.
In John chapter 14, verse 6, he makes one of the most incredible statements ever recorded. I am the way, the truth, and the life. The search for truth is actually a search for a person. It's a search for him. I mean, just look at this. This statement from Jesus completely changes the question from what is truth to who is truth. This is the answer Pilate missed. Jesus doesn't say he teaches the truth or points to the truth. He makes this incredible claim that he is the living, breathing personification of truth. This shifts our whole focus from truth as a concept we need to learn to truth as a person we need to know.
Supporting studies show us that the spirit of truth that was promised is the very spirit of Christ himself. It's Christ not walking the earth in a physical body, but in spirit, actively guiding anyone who is looking for truth.
Okay, so we found the truth. It's a person, Jesus Christ. Mission accomplished, right? Case closed? Not so fast. Is just possessing this knowledge the final goal? This study brings up a really critical point about the responsibility that comes with knowing things. It suggests that just having the information, even something as profound as knowing who truth is, isn't enough. In fact, there's a dangerous side to it. This passage from the supporting study is just so powerful. It says that if knowing the truth doesn't actually make a person more sincere, more kind, more patient, then that truth becomes a curse. It's a curse to the person holding it, and it's a curse to everyone they influence. It turns into a weapon instead of a light.
When you really boil it down, this study shows us there are two paths. Truth can be your greatest ally, the very thing that sets you free. Or it can be your worst enemy, the standard you'll be judged against. It's a choice we all have to make.
So that brings us to our final and maybe the most personal part of our journey. If just knowing the truth can actually be dangerous, then what's the answer? We have to go from simply knowing truth to actively being truth. O&R Insights gives us a simple but really profound way to think about this. You are what you eat. Truth isn't something you just put on a shelf to admire. It has to be consumed, digested, and allowed to become a part of who you are from the inside out. We have to treat truth like food. You don't just look at food, right? You consume it, you chew it, you digest it, and it literally becomes part of your body. Truth has to be the same way. It has to become a part of our very being. And once that truth is woven into the fabric of who you are, you can't just keep it to yourself. You have a new job, to live it out, to be a beacon, a lighthouse for all the other people out there who are still lost in the storm, searching. So the real goal, the end game, isn't just to possess truth like a collector's item, but to reflect its characteristics in our own lives. It means we become a source of promise, a reliable guidepost for people around us. It means we let truth light our own path, live in the freedom it offers, and ultimately reflect the person of Christ himself. And so, this study doesn't end with a neat summary. It ends with a direct and personal challenge. The question, what is truth, has been answered. But now a new question takes its place, a question for me and for you. Will we be content to simply know it, or will we take the much more courageous step of becoming it?